live.
Oh,
hey.
Welcome to Live from the Main Stage. I'm Israel. I'm going to be hosting again tonight. We're here with Garrett.
Hey guys.
And our guest tonight is Adam Woodworth.
Hello.
So, Garrett, why don't you introduce Adam quickly? I'll make sure we're...
Well, Adam is a man of many talents. One of them which is actually being a Santa for many events in the city of Chicago, like the Thanksgiving Day Parade, the Magnificent Mile Parade, and other notable events. Adam, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we're going to hear more about it, but Adam is the show producer or director for the show that's coming up this Saturday at the Tinley Park Performing Arts Center. So I'm sure we'll hear more about that. Your first time directing, right, Adam?
First time directing for Main Stage and first time really directing improv. So
Awesome. Yeah. So far, so good. You want to tease it? No, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah.
Great. So just start, Adam. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
Garrett mentioned the Santa thing.
Yeah.
Like, talk about you and then kind of how you came into that. Too.
Sure. I grew up in a small town in Illinois, West Central Illinois, and had done some theater in high school, and kind of got out of it when I went to college. And after that, working jobs over the years, mostly in the nonprofit sector. I got a job with the American Heart Association, and then moved to the Children's Museum in Oak Lawn, where I'm at today. And we had a casino night fundraiser. It was a May the 4th Star Wars themed event.
Right up
which
Garrett's
was
alley
right up Garrett's
there.
alley.
Yeah, pretty good.
So we, I grew a little scruff, bought some Jedi robes and a lightsaber, and after I went as old Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I had people, a couple people come up to me and say, "Do you do kids parties?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because every kid wants old Obi-Wan Kenobi at their party."
I don't even think they want Ewan McGregor.
Right.
I don't think the new kids don't know who he is. So.
Right, true. So, but it was coming in white. It was
Yeah.
not Ewan McGregor. And I got home and I'm like, "Yeah, I got to shave this." And my wife said, "You ought to let it grow a little bit and see if you look like Santa." I had worked for Santa before, helping him out with some things, fake beard.
Yeah.
So I started growing it. I about shaved it off 3 or 4 times because you just get to that point, you're like, I'm done. But then you're like, man, if I shave it off, then it's done. So I kept it, and about midsummer, somebody saw a picture of me on Facebook and said, "Hey, do you work with Santa?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And well, boy, we'd love to have you. And that's where it started.
Like, who was that?
It was a hair salon in Alsip, O'Hara and Friends Salon, and she was like, her guy retired, so I had a gig, and I'm like, this is cool.
How big was the beard at this point?
It was a little more than Garrett's.
Wow.
A little bit more than Garrett's.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so did you just do like the hairdresser circuit, like Bo Ricks and Fantastic Sam?
No. She does a thing, and I'm there every year. She does this thing where she brings in, girls to get their nails done, their hair done, and it's just the night with Santa.
It's kind of funny though, like you're doing a hair place, which I'm sure they manicure beards and stuff.
Yeah.
So that beard has been on your face effectively. I mean, some trimming since what, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you trim it? What's the how
Secret.
often do you trim it up?
Yeah, I trim it up once in a while, but it is white. I don't have to bleach it, and I trim it up a little bit, and the mustache. I'm growing the mustache longer now. If you've noticed,
I do notice
I've been
that.
growing it longer because I kind of want to see how long I can get it and how it looks.
Beards are pretty amazing because I recently saw a picture of you with
Says
a goatee.
we got beards are amazing. Yeah,
I totally didn't recognize
And
them.
I thought that, during COVID, I shaved off my beard.
Yeah.
And I will never do it again.
Yeah.
Well,
mark my words.
He even shaved his head.
I did actually.
I thought I would get, that first year. I thought, man, if I had 10 gigs, that'd be pretty cool. I was borrowing a Santa suit from the Children's Museum. Because that was my plan. And as we got closer to the season and people started asking me, and Kathy at the salon was like mentioning me to other people because she knew people. And that first year I had, I don't know, a 60.
Wow.
So I ended up having to go out and buy a suit, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to use the fake belt, and I don't want to use the fake boot covers. I bought boots. I bought.
So like first year, you kind of
Yeah.
went all in, right?
Oh, I did, and I'll never forget. I was sitting there going through the expenses, and my wife comes up and she kind of looks over my shoulder and she's like, "What have you spent on this so far?" And I said, "Well, it's a little."
Never a good idea to ask a guy about his hobby expenses.
I said, "Well, it's a little over $1,000." And she's like, "Well, you are going to make that back, right?" And I'm like, well, "Yeah, I am," and I did. I mean,
just as in boxing, you need to be able to take a punch, to give a punch. You need to be able to make money. You need to spend money. And so that's the one thing that separates Adam and his whole crew is their tailored outfits. They are legit. They're real fabric, like you said. You don't have the fake boot stuff. And I've done work with various organizations with Santa, helping out the booths and stuff. And now after meeting you, I'm very persnickety and judgmental about people that don't meet Adam's
Those
bar.
hack Santas out
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
he's become a Santa snob. Really,
I have. He's the real deal. He's the real deal.
He'll come up to me and goes, I was at this event. I won't say any events.
Yeah.
But I was at this
Tinley
event. I was at this event and man, it's just not you. And I'm like, well, thank you, Garrett. I appreciate
But
that.
I will say this though, but that quality is not just Adam. His wife then has like a tailored suit or a tailored dress as Mrs. Claus. He has 3 elves now helping him, and they all have like legit costuming. It's fabric.
Yeah.
It's a real outfit. It's not a costume.
Where do you go for these pieces? You put during the Christmas show, you put the coat on me near the end, and that thing was like I was ready to go home with that. That felt so nice. Where do I get one of those made in mine?
Well, there was a lady in Homewood, Kathy Carey, who made my parade suit. So that first one that I have with the gold trim, made that one, and she. I believe that was her first Santa suit that she had made, and it just gorgeous. And so then it's like anything else. It's like, well, I really probably should have another one in case something happens to this one. And then
sorry, but you got that purple one too.
That's
pretty cool.
So the purple one came about because Krista and I were asked to be the grand marshals at the Western Illinois University homecoming.
Cool.
We went to school there, and that's where we met.
Go Leathernecks.
Go Leathernecks. And just in case Carrie Van Fleet is watching. Hi, Carrie Van Fleet, if you're watching. But we were asked, and I'm like, I reached out. I'm like, do you think we should do a purple Santa suit? I mean, I could probably have one made. And, and so that's how it came about. And I remember Kathy, she was like showing me material, and I'm like, what's the cheapest? Because I don't know when I'll ever wear this again, right? Because when do you wear and then it turned out that we had a high school event that we did in Manteno, and their colors are purple. And so I reached out to them, and I'm like, after we had done it the year before, I'm like, I do have a purple Santa suit now. Here's the picture, and they're like, OMG, yes, that was the text I got.
That's
so
awesome.
we went in purple for that.
Well,
so.
Northwestern, if you're listening,
right.
we got a ready-made Santa for you.
Minnesota Vikings, Baltimore Ravens,
Hey.
Colorado Rockies. I mean, I've not researched this or anything. I mean,
Kings and queens, royalty anywhere. Need a Santa Claus.
The Lakers. You could do the Lakers. I guess they're more kind of like their purple's more bluish purple.
Talk about how, because again, Garrett mentioned it, but you do the Parade of Lights, and now for the first time this year, the Thanksgiving Day parade?
Yeah. So I've been
That's pretty wild.
I've been doing the Wintrust Magnificent Mile Lights Festival parade for 4 years, and last year, so it was November, and I got a text from a friend of mine who I know through Rotary when I was in Rotary years ago, and he said, "Have you heard from the Chicago Thanksgiving Parade?" And I replied back, "No. Should I have?" Because I didn't chase it. It wasn't one that I chased.
Wow.
Phil Wentz was the guy for years. I think he 14 years maybe had done that parade, and he for health reasons had to step aside. And I figured he had probably recommended somebody or whatever because he'd done it for so long. So it wasn't one that I even chased. I'm like, I've got one brick parade, so that's kind of cool. And but I got this text, and I'm like, should I have heard from him? And he's like, yes. And then I get the guy's name with the phone number, and I'm like, am I supposed to call him? Is he expecting my call? Because people will come up to me like, oh, you should be the Santa in the Macy's Day Parade, and I'll be like, well, that's great. But
You
you
know
know, I
anybody?
me's everybody's got ideas of what I should do.
Yeah.
So so I just I reached out to the guy. He was expecting my call. I called. He was like, Dennis showed me your photos. We want you. You're the guy. And I'm like, you need a Mrs. Claus? They were like, yes. And I'm like, great, I have one. So in the course of about 8 days, we spent 4 nights in the city at 3 different
Wow.
hotels.
Wow.
So it was because I do media day.
Yeah, I
for
saw you on the TV,
Yeah,
and I saw you on News Nation. My
Yeah.
wife still talks about Adam being on News Nation. He was on there for like almost 10 minutes or 11,
Yeah.
a pretty big chunk. And she's like, I like that channel. That is so big. And it's national, too.
Yeah. That was a really neat experience, and that came from one of my photographers, and it wasn't the photography by Angel. It was one of her photographers knew somebody, and they said they were looking for somebody. So she was like, "Oh, I know a guy."
Right.
And you know, then there I am. It's so funny because a lot of this stuff I haven't really chased. It just has happened.
But I will say this, though. Like, and I watched that segment on News Nation, and you have like a little trunk of stuff, and you gave a gift to the lady, the Harry Potter based gift. But like, tell us about your improv background and how that helps.
Sure.
Because I know for that TV segment, it's not like you know all the questions they're going to ask you.
No.
And kids, I mean, dealing with
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
they're
Yeah, you don't know
nonstop
what they're
asking
going to
questions,
ask,
right?
Yeah, the craziest question I got this year was from someone who is with Limestone Stage, Sabrina, her daughter. I was at her house, and her daughter was just hitting me with all kinds of questions. It was so funny. But I mean, it was boom, boom, boom. And then out of the blue, she's like, Santa, do you take a shower or do you bath? Do you do a bath? And I'm like,
That's one of my questions.
I
I guess
know,
I crossed that off.
cross that off.
Well, what did you answer?
I said, well, it kind of depends. I mean, if I feel like I need to soak, I take a bath. But if I want to,
Calgon, take me
just-
away, I guess.
But but you never know what kind of questions you're going to get. So my background in improv, I always kind of joke, and I say it jokingly, but I homeschool improv. I mean, I've never taken a class.
Wow.
I've never, but I got interested in it when that show Whose Line Is It
Of course,
Anyway?
yeah.
Right. So we went back in September of 2001. And we all know what happened then. We were out in California, and we went to a taping of the show. And so we got to see it live, and man, that was so cool to see it. And I'm like, man, I always want to do this. I want to do this. So my daughter, a few years later, ended up auditioning for a play with Limestone Stage, and I hadn't done anything with Limestone up till then. And so I went for a table read. She wanted to go to a table read the second night, and they were like, "We only have to come one night." And she's like, "I want to go 2 nights." So my wife couldn't take her the second night, so I said, I'll take her. So I get there, and they're like, "Oh, are you going to read too?" And I'm looking around the room, and I'm like, "Well, there aren't a lot of guys here. Yeah, I mean, if you need some help out reading, I can read. That's fine." And they're like, "Okay, we'll sign the form." So I look at the form, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not doing auditions, or this is just for me to read. I guess it's a waiver, so I sign it, And I read, and 3 days later, I get a phone call from the director, and she says, "We want to cast your daughter as Martha Cratchit, one of the daughters." And, and I'm like, "Oh, that'd be great. She's going to love it. This will be fun." And I'm at work. I'm like I'm trying to get her off the phone. She's clearly trying to stay on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is kind of, and she's like, I'm like, "Okay, well, I really do need to go because I've got, a lot going on." And she's like, "Well, before you go, we would like to offer you a role." And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, I go, "Well, I didn't audition." And she goes, "Well, you kind of did." and I'm like, "You read." And I said, "Well, what role?" I thought, well, it's going to be all, one of those little side roles. And the story is a Carol for Tiny Tim. So it is a sequel.
Oh.
All right, Tim's a little older. Tim's getting into he gets visited by the ghost in this one.
No way.
So I thought, okay, well, what is this? What does this entail? And she said, "We want you to be Bob Cratchit," which was not a small role.
Wow, yeah.
And I hadn't acted since high school, so I'm like, I'm going to have to get back to you. I'm going to have to let you know. So I call my wife, and she says, she goes, we're going to have to take Alyssa to the rehearsals anyway. So you might as well go too.
Yeah, good
And
point.
be in the play, and you can do something with her. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. So we did the play, and it was wonderful. My daughter never did anything with limestone again. And but they had after that they had auditions for their improv team. And I thought, I just want to go and play the games. I just want to try these things because I've never done them, right? So I'd seen it, and so I said, I'm going to go to the audition and just try it. So I go to the audition, and I'm having a blast, right? It's so much fun. A few days later, I get Alyssa Janchenko reaches out to me, and she says, we would like you on the team. And I'm like, really?
So when was that? That you got on the team at?
That was around. That would have had to be around 2015, 2016.
Wow.
So I was
11 years ago.
I performed with Quarried Away up through COVID, and then everything just kind of stopped at that point.
And what did Quarried Away do? Were you centralized? What kind of shows?
Mostly in a wine bar. Okay. Or in local establishments in Lockport.
What was the wine bar?
It was the studio. It was the one that was on the corner. It was in the old bank.
Okay.
On the corner of 9th.
Yeah, it's right across from Public Landing, right?
Yeah. It's down just a little bit from there. Yeah.
And is Limestone they're still active now?
They're still active now. They do a lot of plays. I'm back on Quarried Away's team. But yeah, so I did a couple other little things with them, Halloween shows, things like that. But I have directed before, so I directed 2 one-act plays and I had written both of those.
Oh, cool.
So I directed one of the 2. So I got some directing experience through there and casting experience. And I'll tell you, there is nothing cooler than writing something and seeing it performed on stage. I mean, there was just nothing cooler than that. When in this world, to me, that's like the coolest because it's like, somebody's bringing you right, and then to have someone else direct it and watch it. I mean, it was really.
Oh, I'm curious too. Like, were you part of casting? No, were you on that? I mean, I'm just curious.
on the play.
Yeah, when they cast your play.
Yeah, well, when I directed my own, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, the other person who directed the other play was there, but she did ask me. Like she said, here's what I'm thinking, and I went, you're the director. So
because a good actor or actress can really make a role come to life, right? So it can make or break some of the material, unless the material's so good it's infallible. But I think
we have our number one fan on board. Jamie's on there tonight, and besides mentioning that beards are amazing. He asked, Adam, have you trained in Zen Buddhism? I have no intention. I don't know what that means. I had no intention. Santa, Bob Cratchit, improv, amazing.
So I have not trained in Zen Buddhism, but I have gone to like a meditation thing at a Buddhist temple. I don't know what the right word is, but it was in the city, and I'm like, I need to relax a little bit, so I'm going to go try this and see how it works and learn some meditation techniques and so
Garrett played Buddha in some of our last
before
doing a little Zen session before our
Don't give all my secrets away. With that said, though, one of the themes that it seems in your improv and theater career is like falling up, not even trying, right? Like you're not asking, you're not really looking, right? It's just, like Krista was right. Like, just drop off the daughter. You're going to be there anyway, so you might as well do this. And then with that little bit of encouragement, you go through one door, and then another door opens up. If you never did that, you never get the inkling or see that Limestone Quarried Away audition. And how has that group changed? So it has Alyssa and Luke's kind of he's the production guy.
Yeah.
But has anybody else? Eric was probably still.
Eric's still part. Yeah, I mean, I think most everybody is still part of that. The team's expanded a little bit, which is good too. Yeah. So there's some new people coming out, and so it's good. We're gonna have to get Main Stage and Quarried Away together sometime for a jam. So
fair enough. Yeah, that'd be fun.
We need to do that.
Yeah. I don't know, Garrett. Do you want to do your call-in now?
So now we're going to go to one of our most popular segments, Q&A with Kay. We're going to call Kevin Hickey, a cast member of Main Stage Improv. But
Garrett got a brand new iPhone, everybody. Congratulations,
Whoa.
Garrett.
How much memory does it have?
The only thing is I realized he might be at his practice here, so I got to call him right away. Oh no, he's got time. He's got time. So he may be calling. He's going to give you some quick hit questions, Adam. Yes and no questions. And I'll
Okay.
let him explain it to you. But we got to call him before he goes.
So I don't get to give the politician answer, where it's got to be yes or no.
It's,
I can't be like,
yes.
well, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
no deflections.
No deflections. All right.
But we got to make this quick. He's got practice at 7:30.
Here, turn it.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in the speaker. There we go.
Oh,
Kevin.
Kevin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
hey,
So,
hey guys.
hey, I know you. I just realized you have rehearsal at 7:30. So, are you ready to give your questions, your rapid fire questions to Adam?
Give me 1 second. I'm just walking in. I got off work.
Timing is impeccable here at the.
Super great timing at this podcast. Let me tell you.
But with that said, the format will be he'll ask you some questions. They should be yes or no questions, and then Israel and I might ask some follow-up questions to those
While we
questions.
wait, we'll point out this lovely new board we got behind here will be debuted at the show on Saturday, showing the cast and upcoming shows and the lovely show director.
And shout out to Israel for making that.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's handmade, and the cast changes, and so those pictures are pop-outs, which can be replaced with each cast for each show. And we'll have a show coming up after Saturday's show at 8 p.m. at the Tinley Park Performing Arts Center, where Adam's directing. But the next show will be February 28th, and we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have long form in the first half with Ken Shahansky as our guest monologuist for our long form.
All right, we'll talk all about the shows, but I think Kevin. I'm sorry, Garrett. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Kevin, are you ready? No, it's fine.
No, yeah.
That's called
You good,
stretching in media.
Yeah, very good.
Kevin, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's
Okay.
hear it.
All right, Adam. Are we putting time on the clock? Okay.
Click. Go.
Yes. That was my first question.
Adam, what was your favorite purchase last year?
Oh, I thought these were supposed to be yes or no questions.
Oh, do you want yes or no?
Here, just go ahead.
Did you
roll.
have a favorite?
We're gonna roll with it. Quick answers. So put a minute on the
Okay.
board.
So my favorite purchase last year probably was probably that purple Santa suit. That was
Okay.
pretty cool.
Next question.
Okay. Boxers or briefs?
Oh, boxers.
Okay.
You sound disappointed with that.
What is your most used app?
Oh, probably right now TikTok, because I go live on there as Santa.
Sure.
Yeah.
Apples or oranges?
Straight up apples or oranges?
Yes.
Oranges.
Really?
I like apple pie, but
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
All right. Do you enjoy sparkling water or flat water?
flat water.
What's your favorite sandwich?
Grilled cheese.
One more, Kevin.
Nice. Okay, one more. What do you think? Who do you think is your favorite improver?
Oh, my favorite improver. I like Wayne Brady.
Okay.
You didn't expect me to go there, did you?
Safe answer.
Safe answer.
Okay, well, Kevin, we are out of time.
Thanks
my
for having
friend.
me.
Yeah, thanks for the quick hit questions. And
What are you practicing for tonight, Kevin?
We don't have it. I'm contemplating going to an audition.
oh, for what show?
New improv group. He's ditching that.
Yeah. I'm trying to be with Wayne Brady.
I get it. I understand. All right, Kevin. Thanks. That was fun.
All right. I'll see you guys on Saturday.
Yeah, enjoy
right.
your night off. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
I can't help but notice that he seemed disappointed with some of my answers.
Yeah, like the
Did
spark
you
and
notice
water.
that?
He thought you
He was
were
hoping for white tighties.
I don't know.
I will say this though, like you mentioned TikTok and you mentioned you're on the app for the Santa, and you were telling me about this over the winter.
Yeah.
And it was pretty a good avenue for revenue. But we also, Main Stage Improv has a TikTok channel, and Israel runs that. I keep getting emails saying, Logan just messaged me. Answer her. Like, it's been like 3 days straight. I'm like, I try to log on.
Logan's awesome at sharing content. Way to go, Logan.
And then I try to log on. I'm like, I can't get in. I'm like, oh, well. I
No,
guess
I'm not allowing Garrett to touch the TikTok.
I don't want to touch
Hands off the TikTok,
Off the
Garrett.
TikTok.
Let them steal his information.
It's already stolen. Nothing you can do about it.
I figure everybody's got it now anyway, right? I mean,
Oh, my God.
The TikTok we've got, and then the YouTube channel, which is something that obviously people are on watching,
Please
but
subscribe.
we're trying to grow and get more people. We're I think what are we knocking on 140 subscribers?
Yeah,
We're 139 right now,
Yeah,
so that's good growth. I mean, we've
pretty growth. Because
have,
we've just started leaning into it.
Yeah.
So the best is yet to come as we tinker with content and additional guests. So, yeah, stay loyal, our fans, because the best is yet to come.
and then of course the old-fashioned Facebookaroo.
Yeah,
still there too.
Yeah.
Um,
And the mainstageimprov.com website. So check us out.
That's right, all over the place. All right, Adam. Well, we have a couple not as quick hit.
okay.
We have a couple, Adam, Garrett and I both kind of have some questions for you. So, see what you come up with. Have you ever been bit by a dog?
Yes, but not badly.
What does that mean?
Well,
No
like
break.
it didn't draw blood.
Where'd you get bit?
My
What's the
arm.
story?
I was
Were
a
you
kid.
kicking the dog or
No,
something?
I was a kid, and just,
Dog is a jerk.
yeah, the dog was just kind of a jerk.
I hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'll.
No blood.
What is the worst?
No rabies.
What is the worst television reboot, in your opinion?
The worst television reboot.
I don't even put movies in there because some
movies.
have been...
The A-Team movie.
Oh, I like the 18.
Did you?
Yeah,
I like
with
the
Liam
I like the
Neeson
TV show.
and Bradley Cooper. I like them both
Yeah,
actually. I thought they
yeah.
got the right vibe.
I didn't like it. I didn't as much. Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like, really? What a dumb answer.
My brother-in-law.
Man, there's a theme here.
My brother-in-law and I.
You didn't like it, Garrett. Give him a break.
Really? Hey, Kevin's rubbing off on him there.
I thought,
I'm disappointed. Apparently, I'm disappointing everyone tonight.
I thought they struck the right note. What would you say is your worst reboot? And originally it was just on TV.
Yeah.
And so but I
What-
relaxed the question.
Why? What do you think you're?
Well, so this question, there's two reboots that nobody on here is going to remember. But I remember, what was the Munsters today? There was a reboot of the Munsters. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was god-awful. It was like when Channel 50 was doing new shows and stuff.
Okay.
And I just remember there was an actor in the late 80s, John Chucks or something like that.
What year
He
was that?
I think it was the late 80s. So, and there was
okay.
the new Monkeys.
So,
I was gonna say the Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters.
The new Ghostbusters.
Like I felt like of the.
Oh,
Yeah,
the new
the
franchise.
I could put that. Yeah, I could put that in there too.
Yeah.
I will tell you though. I grew up in West Central Illinois,
Yeah.
so we had NBC, ABC, CBS, and PBS. That was all
Oh, so
I
you
had.
didn't get like 50?
Didn't even
or
get any
60?
of those things, so I wouldn't have even known. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, see, I disappointed him again.
So besides being on TV, have you, or, for Santa,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever been in the studio audience of a TV show?
Yeah, with Whose Line?
Oh,
Yeah, Whose Line is it anyway? Yeah.
Anything else? Any other?
No, that's been it.
Okay.
That's been it. When we were standing outside getting ready to go in, it was in California, right? So we were out there for vacation, and we're in line, and there's an earthquake. And you could tell everybody who was from California because they were just like talking and everything, and the rest of us were like, "What the hell is that?" You know?
It's like the board of the Starship
Yeah.
Enterprise where you're like doing this.
Yeah.
I got a question because I noticed this effect with Adam when he was in our first rehearsals for our Christmas and sketch show 2 years ago, 2 Decembers ago. How do you find people treat you, parentheses, in general, because of your overall Santa look?
Mm-hmm.
And it's twofold. And how they treat you, does that make you do you try to be a better person? Because when you go out, you present this
You're
image.
always representing.
He's in a car that says Santa. What's the plate? Santa.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
so
it's
it is
true.
red, and
There's an elf on the dash.
yeah. So and he can play Christmas music. So it would that first year was more than $1,000 deficit. Okay, he was buying a car.
Well, that's over 6 years. I
know.
mean, you know.
Yeah, it's paid for itself. No, but has that? I'm curious.
You know, I think it changed me initially in that, you know, I did find that I just genuinely wanted to be nicer. Like it just changed. Yeah, I can't explain it. Not that I was a jerk before. Well, if my wife's
is
watching,
it
she knows
cheesy
I
to
was.
say like the Christmas spirit? I mean, like
Yeah.
lives on, like you
Yeah.
kind of are all year.
Yeah, it is, and
Cheesy?
you know,
It's cheesy.
it is. No. It's really true because you know I find that you know like even now like the things I talk about is like why can't people just be kinder to one another, right? And it just and you know and I try to be, you know, like I'll be in a grocery store and I'll help somebody, you know, I'll do more things than maybe I used to do. I don't know, but I do have people that will. You know, and do they treat me differently? Yes.
Yeah, they do.
I get senior discounts when I don't ask for them. I'm 55 years old.
I just remember Mike McCauley going, Adam's younger than me. but because I know in that first session you came from a gig, so you were in full Santa gear.
Yeah.
So it's not like you are here, but even still, if you were wearing a red coat and a hat, and all of a sudden you're popped in and come out of the vending machine, you start kicking it and swearing at it, and the 10-year-old comes back and goes, Santa. You know, like, I think you're more conscious, right?
I wouldn't do that.
If I go over, I have a lot of nieces and nephews, especially when they're young kids. I don't swear in front of them, right? I'm very, you know.
But otherwise, he lets the expletives fly.
I work in engineering, which deals with construction. So on construction job sites, you will hear, you know, some non-dictionary words.
But I do see that people do kind of, you know, and I would say that probably adults in general, like there will be times I'll be walking through a store, even the children's museum, and I'll hear a child say Santa, you know, and I'll turn and I'll look, and I might give the, you know, but I do carry little stickers in my wallet, and they say I met Santa, I'm on the nice list, and it's got my picture on it. I can show you. See
it's like the picture from 7 years ago. he was
goatee.
trying to unload some stickers he made to recoup that money.
They think he's getting a 20 or something. He pulls out a sticker. I'm like,
I think I'm giving them money.
Not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby. My arm's not long enough, but not bad.
So,
very cool.
So yeah, so you know, and then parents, you know, it's because when you're doing something nice for their child, you know, I mean that makes people feel good, and it just is a good feel-good moment. And it happened today. I mean, I'm in the museum. I'm wearing a black museum shirt with the logo on it. No hat, no coat, nothing. And, you know, nothing red that would make kids go, you know, except for this. And this little boy goes, Santa. You know, and it just, you know, so it's actually, some people have said like it doesn't even matter that you don't wear red, you just give off a vibe.
Yeah.
And apparently I've been doing it so long that, you know, maybe I actually believe, you know, I'm going to be like 5 years and my wife's going to be like, he actually thinks he's Santa. So we need to
Got
lock
stuck
him
in a
up.
chimney last night.
He's like Jim Carrey doing Andy Kaufman. He's immersed. You're like Daniel Day-Lewis. You're just.
But I can go right into it and come out. I mean, even the first year I was doing this, you know, like I have my I was laughing that way. Yeah. So, you know, like in January, February, my wife Krista, she's like, you know, you really don't need to laugh like that anymore because but now it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I don't always laugh that way, but it will come out.
That's fine. All right. Where did you say you grew up?
Small town called Nauvoo, Illinois.
All right. So if you were to show somebody around Nauvoo, Illinois, where would you take them?
I would take them to the library because it is so small and funny, but it's cute. It's, you know, that they've moved to a new place, a larger space now. But it was just, but you know, when I walked in there, I was there a couple of winters ago. They had me down there as Santa to meet people, and it was kind of nostalgic being there. There's a lot of history in Nauvoo. It's where the Mormons first settled. And
What area? Like, what's around there? What would? What do you know?
it's between Hamilton and Nyota.
Oh, that's
If you look at a map,
Population,
well,
what's
if
the
you,
population?
it was under 1,000 when
Wow.
I went. I had 23 in my graduating class. 23.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
I was valedictorian, not real hard. But we had
Congratulations!
any of my high school friends
Solid
watching.
B's.
Sorry about that. But if you look at a map where Iowa and Missouri and Illinois meet, it's just a little bit north of right there. Right there.
Okay.
So
I like how it's next to iota.
Nyota.
Oh, Nyota.
Nyota. Yeah, Nyota. Yeah.
Nyota in Iowa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just the library. It sounds like
Yeah,
a raucous,
and
wild place to visit.
Yeah, I mean the most fun like you had in high school was just driving up and down Main Street. It really was. I mean, we used to go, you'd go cruising, right? Because that's what you did in the 80s.
Sure.
And we'd go to usually Keokuk, Iowa, which is named after Chief Keokuk. So it's
Of course. Yeah.
When you go to Iowa for a
Yeah.
wilder time,
Right,
you
I
you're
know,
right
right?
part of the country.
You know the welcome sign on Iowa. You know what it says? It says, "Welcome to Iowa. We hope you brought something to do."
Oh my God.
I like it. Garrett?
Yeah. Do anyone famous share your birthday?
Well, yeah, I'm born on
Wait, yeah. When is your birthday, for those who don't know?
Christmas Day,
Ridiculous.
which is, and nobody believes that because, the whole Santa thing. There was
It was legally changed 7 and 8 years ago.
there was a story. Well, I should change my name really because my there was a little bit of a disagreement, I guess you'll call it.
Wait, what would you change your name to?
Christopher.
You would.
Sure.
You
I
would?
got to go all in, man.
What would you put? I mean, wouldn't it be Nicholas?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Nicholas Christopher Claus. I don't know. I really don't know.
I think
That's
you
when
are.
your wife backs away slowly.
Yeah,
But my grandmother wanted
This
me.
is like Andy Kaufman, the Andy Kaufman set where Jim Carrey. They said he stayed in character the whole time.
My grandmother thought that I should have been named Christopher because I was born on Christmas, right? So that kind of
Yeah,
makes sense.
I agree.
My parents were like, "We're not going to do that to him," and now I'm like, "You should have done that to me." Because
Little
who
did
would
they
have believed?
know.
Who would believe this?
Yeah.
I mean, people would lock me up. They'd be like, "Get out of here!" I was at Walmart a few months ago, and a lady commented. She had parked, and we were walking in together. She commented on my license plate, and she goes, "Oh, you must play Santa." And I'm like, "Yeah. I help the big man out once in a while," and she goes, "Oh, well, she goes, my birthday's on Christmas." And I'm like, "No kidding, me too." Well, I didn't like say anything. I mean, she probably, who knows, like, who's this creep, right?
Right.
Like,
that woman was Julia Louis-Dreyfus. That was the celebrity that shares his birthday.
so I'm in the store and I'm like, man, I sounded like a creep. Like who's this creep? So I'm like, I get my license out and I hunt her down in the store.
That's
I'm like,
you're doubling down on being creepy.
So I'm
I
like,
was creepy. Let me go be more creepy.
I'm like,
Then I followed her to her car and told her to roll down the window.
I said, well, here's. I said, I just wanted to show you that I wasn't lying to you. And she looks and she goes, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, "What?" She reaches in her purse and pulls out her. We were born the Christmas Day the same year.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So who's the creepy one now, Garrett?
I don't know. If it was Wyota, then maybe you were at the same hospital. She was in your class. She didn't recognize you with the beard. What about you? You got any famous
Oh,
people
you know
to
what
share
I
your
did?
birthday?
I was given a precursor. So actually, my favorite podcast, Are You Garbage? One of the guys, Kevin Ryan, is August 14th is mine. Magic Johnson is another one. He's August 14th. The lovely Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, you got good ones. Yeah.
And then you like this one, Steve Martin.
Yeah, I do like Steve Martin.
He's
Oh, pretty
August
good.
14th. So.
Mine was like Crusher Khrushchev. It is something like that. It was not Crusher. That was a wrestler. It was it is like some Russian czar guy who I can't. It was
That's
Khrushchev.
it?
No. That's an old time one, but like the actual like actresses and stuff. Jennifer Gardner from Alias, right? Ben Affleck's former wife. Also, she was Elektra in Daredevil. Victoria Beckham, remember the former Spice Girl, Sporty Spice? And then Sean Bean, and you're like, who's Sean Bean?
Mr. Bean?
Not Mr. Bean, who does all the pantomiming by Rowan Atkinson on PBS, but Sean Bean, who was Ned Stark in Game of Thrones. So the head of the family. You see him in all these things, but he's most famous for that. I think he's even in like Netflix has Frankenstein, and he's in that. So, but Jennifer Gardner is the one I knew for a long time. But that's April 17th.
Jennifer Gardner was just in a. What were we watching? Anyway, I forgot. I'll remember it.
Yeah. And we'll tell you. We'll put it in the comments when he remembers.
What would you consider your proudest moment or proudest accomplishment? Kids don't count. You can't count them.
I can't count kids.
No. Because that's an obvious. I mean,
It's an obvious one.
or it's not, and we don't want to bust you out for now.
You know, I think it was. You know, at this point, I think it's being in the Mag Mile Parade was like the coolest. I mean, there's just, you know, and I've said that about a couple of things. Like, it's nothing cooler than this. And I say that, but you know, when you're up there and you know that, you know, that parade's only been going on for what, 30 some years, I think. I don't remember whatever it is, but it hasn't been out. You know, like there's only been a few guys that have been up there doing this, and you know, when that float turns onto, you know, the mag, and you see the millions of people on both sides, you know, going Santa. You know, it's just like.
And where are you compared to Mickey during the parade? Is he ahead of you?
He starts the parade because he's
Okay.
got to turn the lights on.
Santa's the closer, baby.
It's been a few years since I've gone.
Yeah. Well, you have to come down this year.
I mean, if you need somebody to, like, you know, hold your coat up on the little podcast from the parade.
Yeah, there you go. See,
I have a question that my wife and I have like talked about this because I noticed the trend. But
Aliens. It's
what's your stance on pets with human names? Pets with human names.
well,
For or against?
I would say, you know, kind of against, but I have both of our dogs have human names, so
not that against.
Cooper, not that against, but I always
Cognitive dissonance, right?
But I'm always like, you know, like when like Sammy and Cooper are our dogs. So, you know, like Sammy's outside, I'm like, Sammy, get in here. Like somebody's thinking I'm yelling at a kid, right? And like I'm like, that's not very Sammy to do that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Sammy, quit taking a dump on the lawn. Sammy, quit chewing on the tire. Like,
we had friends when I was younger, and they had a golden lab called Bob. His name was Bob, and I thought that was the funniest thing. Like Bob the dog, you know.
Yeah. You know, I noticed because my wife and I have cats, and we've had cats. Like all our cats, not all. Like in her youth, she had some that had non-human names. But if there's a cat in our household with a human name, she typically named it. And if there's a cat name with, like, you know, not Mr. Whiskers, but something on that, you know, genre, I named it, right?
Do you know how many cats Garrett has?
Too many.
5.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I watch a podcast.
What can you tell us your cat's names?
I could. Here, you figure out which ones I named. Punky.
Okay. That's you.
Probably
Gretel.
That's your wife.
Yeah. Bibsy.
That's you.
Yeah. It was a black cat with a white bib.
Where else do you go with that?
Pie, which neither of us named the cat Pie. We rescued the cat. His name was Pie. P.I., like the 3.14. And then, but Susie.
Your wife.
Yeah, my wife. So,
Susie.
Well, Punky could be Punky Brewster.
Susie is a
that was,
weird cat name.
it could, but I didn't name it after Punky Brewster. I just call it like Punky. Yeah.
Oh.
Like the Punky QB, Jim McMahon, or something.
Yeah, all right.
But either way, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have?
And Mimi. We have Mimi.
Can't forget Mimi. How could you forget one of your babies, Garrett?
She's one of my favorites, so.
Apparently not. I left off the list.
I wasn't counting.
Best for last. Best for last.
Any collections?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like it was like a forced upon collection. I used to work for the Boy Scouts. Like that was my first job out of college, and I'm an Eagle Scout. So I went through the program, and I, and suddenly people thought that I needed to have old scouting stuff. Like, here's an old scout book. And I'm like, you're just cleaning out your closet. You're just trying to, so like I have some things that I think need to be donated somewhere. But I've got a collection of like things now are like, I've collected a few, and my wife has kind of has started this with me, but I've got like old toys that she finds, and I use them in part of my set for my TikTok, and when I go live on YouTube or whatever. I'm not doing a lot of YouTube right now, but
like
so
Lincoln logs. Do you get Lincoln logs?
I've got like an old metal slinky. I've got one of those little birds that you put the key in and you wind it and it jumps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so little things like that.
I always thought that was funny, like the toys they show on those Christmas TV shows and stuff. Totally different than like an Xbox or something. Like it's the disconnect there. That
what do you mean?
Like they always show elves with like a wooden hammer making a doll. And then like
not like coding an Xbox or something.
Yeah, it's not coding an Xbox or pouring the plastic mold for the Barbies. And they take the
sweatshopping the iPhones.
Well, that's why I tell kids when I ask kids what
you tell them they're made in a sweatshop.
I tell kids, I say, that's why math is important. You don't want the Barbies to be too tall. Their arms to be too long. And we had that happen once, where the elves. I tell the kids where the elves, they made the Barbies the wrong size and they wouldn't fit in the box. So
oh my God.
So remember, kids are gullible is the message of the podcast. Kids are gullible. No. But you do have to be quick-witted because they do ask the darndest things. And when you mentioned about that one kid grilling you, I thought of Macaulay Culkin and Uncle Buck.
Yes.
Where he's like asking John Candy all those rapid-fire questions. He's like, "Are you done?" And he's like, or whatever. He goes, "I'm a kid. That's my job." Right? And that's true. That's the rapid fire curiosity that kids have.
Yeah, and it's and you get a lot of the same kinds of questions over time, but every once in a while you'll get one out of left field, like the one with the do you shower bay,
Yeah, it's kind of like inquiring minds don't want to know,
right?
Yeah,
nobody needs to know that.
Yeah. I just want to ask. So this is a little bit. We're gonna go peel back the onion a little origin story. So one of your crewmates you brought into Main Stage Improv. She came and she was the raving success is Jules. So tell us a little bit about Jules and how you met with her. And I know I'm assuming she wasn't part of Limestone or Quarried Away in 2015. That would be my gut.
No. She, I met Jules would have been. Well, I don't remember when I met her, but I think it was somewhere around COVID. It might have been a little bit before. No, it was a little bit before that I met her, because she was going to direct one of the one-act plays as well, and she ended up directing one of them. Yeah, but I saw her performance in Midsummer, which was
was she Puck?
She was Puck.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And just amazing. I mean, and I'm like,
I can't imagine she had to have more energy 6 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. She still has. Yeah, she. But then I think she was brought onto the improv team there, and then when I was doing improv and I was like with you guys, I'm like, she would be somebody to invite over if you're looking for someone.
She fit the culture right away. Like Adam fit the culture right away. He came to a show actually, and then I got a Facebook message like, "Hey, that was a fun show," and then I messaged him back like I do all my fans.
All three of us.
Yeah, all three of us. But joking aside, we were just like, "Oh, well, thanks for coming. How'd you hear about the show?" And then he like, "Oh, I used to do improv too." And I just mentioned I had auditions coming up. Come on in. I'm a pretty open guy, and he won us over in the auditions, and the rest is history. And I gotta say, like, what was the progress of asking Jules? Is one of his 3 elves. And so how did that come where she said, "I want to be one of your elves," or did you approach her? Or?
So I approached her actually about it. I don't remember, we were talking about something because I think she said, "Oh, that'd be so much fun." And I'm like, "You want to be an elf?" I said, I've got an elf already, and that story is kind of funny how I recruited Kate. McDermott to be one of the elves, but. And she was like, yeah. So I said, all right, well, here's kind of what I, want in terms of, outfitting and that. It's got to be professional.
Yeah. Did they use the same Kelly lady for the outfits or
no. They went out and got their own.
Are you kidding me? They look, I mean, on their website, it looks like you have uniform color schemes.
It does, but it's it just she kind of I don't know if she looked at what Kate had and kind of went with that kind of that same color scheme, but Kate works at the Children's Museum, so she is our developmental therapist. So she comes in once a week for a program that we have called We Ones Wednesday. It's a birth to 3 program. So I was there as Santa, and she goes, "Can I dress as an elf?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." So we were there for that program. Oh no, it was an evening program that night. It was our sensory friendly. Yeah. We were at, and so I said, when this is over, Kate, I said, we have to do an elf on the shelf thing. So I'm like, can you climb up there? And so we were having climbing up things in the museum on tops of exhibits and stuff and taking pictures, and it was so funny.
And I don't know if you know, Kate is 80. No, I'm kidding. Like, she's not. I don't know her. No. So I'm sorry for an age joke. But
she's but she got up there, and so she's like, this is so much fun. And I'm like, well, I could probably get you some gigs next year doing some stuff. And she has built her own little business as Elfie. Mm-hmm. And so she goes into homes and will do things like work with kids on their Christmas lists, coloring and doing little crafts and things like that, songs and games.
I hope she's not climbing the furniture there.
So I don't know. I can't speak to that.
I would say though, with her background, I'm joking, but with her background, I would think that makes her available to go to anybody's home, depending on their child's needs, right? To kind of be in a safe environment and share Christmas there. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Tell any close connection to any celebrities, family or anything?
Like genealogy.
Like what's your closest connection to celebrity?
I don't know that there's any.
None.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there might be like an 8th cousin twice removed but
from Kirk Douglas or something.
How about your biggest celebrity interaction?
The biggest celebrity interaction. Well, I used to work for WCCQ 98.3 FM.
Okay.
I play country and western music, and so I met some people through there.
That was a joke, right?
I mean, you're right.
That's blues, but we play both country and western.
But I met like Neil McCoy, Jody Messina. Lori Morgan, I was on Charlie Daniels' bus once with him. That was kind of cool. Yeah. But the coolest to me, the coolest celebrity. I
was say Jody Messina. Like I always would see her album cover.
Yeah,
is her head that huge? She has a huge head.
How dare you talk about Jody Messina?
I'm not saying anything about her.
Jody Messina may need Santa in one of her videos one day. And her head is perfect. Okay. So, but the coolest
I agree.
The coolest interaction I had was I'm coming off the elevator at the first Mag Mile parade. And I get off the elevator and there's Debbie Gibson. And I'm like, Debbie! And she's like, Santa, how do you know me? I'm like, everybody knows you. I've known you since you were, I stayed in character. She was so kind. She sang a song to me. I've got that on video. I have to show that to you guys sometime. She made up a little song, and then and my wrangler, my talent wrangler, was having trouble with my phone, and it's like, oh no, I'm like, well, I want a picture, I want video, and she's like, well, my manager has everything. Let me airdrop it to you.
Oh wow.
So she goes, you have an iPhone? I'm like, yeah. So I get the phone, and I'm like, and she's like, she starts laughing hysterically, and because the name of my phone says Santa's iPhone.
Oh my
and she's laughing hysterically, so she goes, I have to screenshot this. So I ended up on her Instagram with her. Nice. I mean, it was so cool. I mean, it was the coolest. And I love my wife dearly. My wife helps keep my ego in check. And she goes, well, you do know.
You're talking to two married men. We know. You know. Things that you don't have to ever say ever.
Right. And she goes, we know. She goes, Debbie only knows you as Santa. She doesn't know you as Adam. I'm like, yeah, good point.
That's why he's changing the name. He's going full Santa, baby.
And I am Santa.
Next year, Debbie.
Look at my license. It says Christopher.
But it's what's cool is that every year, like, that photo will come up, like that memory in Facebook or whatever, and I'll shoot her a quick message and say, hey, it was a lot of fun, or Merry Christmas, or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've gotten a message back, you know, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
I was when I'm doing TikTok, I had a neat one this year. There was a singer he had, and I'm probably going to screw this up. He's a country singer. But I was bringing people up to the live. Like I checked to see, like, okay, you've got more than 3 followers. You know, you've got videos. So this guy, I look, and he's like, you know, country western singer, and I'm like, Ryan Mundy. I'm like, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'll bring him up. So, and it was his kid. I talked to his kid, and then I said, well, you know, I see you, you know, like you're a country singer, and he's like, yeah, we're in Nashville, and I'm like, well, that's really cool, and it gave me an opportunity to talk about chasing your dreams, right? So I was like, it's really great that you're doing that, you're chasing your dreams, and he had like one of the number one Opry song of the 1 year or something like that, and Up and Comer or something. I don't know what it was, but it was really cool. You know, like you just never know who you're gonna interface with.
So Ryan Monday, right?
Yeah,
Ryan Monday.
Monday,
I'll have to check it out.
That's what's wild about social media is it removes the disconnect in a lot of ways. You know, I mean, it can like all of a sudden you have a direct connection, you know, to people who, you know, who knows, like. I had Tom Skilling share one of my posts one time.
Yeah,
that really
when
blew
was that?
This was years ago.
Okay, I was just saying before.
Still living on that.
Yeah, I see it's framed right over there. That's awesome.
Yeah, he wrote, those look like cirrus clouds. Like Tom Skilling. This guy's got a good eye. He's up and coming.
I mean, because there's no fake Tom Skilling account.
No, it was legit. It was legit.
You checked it, right?
It didn't have the blue verified check mark. It just said Tom Skilling legit.
Yeah, exactly. Why? Is that bad?
It's probably
I bet it's been out the water.
You don't think that's real?
Yeah, we're doing some spit takes here. Adam, when staying at a hotel for a weekend or longer, like when you did the Magnificent Mile, do you use or refuse the maid coming in daily to make the bed and put out the towels?
Generally refuse.
Yeah, my wife does too. Why?
Generally. You know, I just think that, like, I don't need that, you know? I mean, yeah, okay, I got my bed made again, but so what? I mean, if I'm going to stay longer period, I will, every 2 or 3 days, I will have that redone.
A refresh.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, because you need new towels and things like that.
Yeah, and like, you know, I like the new towels more than the bed, but like, you can find the maid and say, hey, just give me a few towels and stuff. But like, I think my wife just doesn't want somebody coming into the room ever.
Yeah, but you know, and it's kind of like, you know, you hear those stories about, you know, like if that happens, like if we forget to put it up and somebody's come in, then I'm going and I'm checking, like, okay, is that still there? Is that still there?
That's true.
I do. You
Yeah.
know,
I do the old James Bond. I take a hair from my head, I lick it, and I put it across the door, so when it opens, I know.
Question.
Unfortunately, there's a ton of hairs everywhere.
I got a question for you about hotels, Garrett. I got a question for you.
Yeah, that's it.
So when you go to a hotel for either a short or long period of stay,
Yeah, sure.
do you keep your clothes in the luggage or do you put them in the drawers?
Well, I keep them in the luggage, and I stay at.
My wife does that too.
Yeah, my wife
put them in the drawers.
My wife puts them in the drawers. But our hotel of choice is called
Say about you.
El Casa or La Casa del Crummy. So that's no, I'm kidding. No, I keep them. I generally keep them in there, and then like, you know, I'll grab that plastic bag out right away, and like, you know, because whatever I put, I want to make sure I have it in a plastic bag and separated. If I'm staying longer, or if I'm suited up because I have
What's
a
the
gig.
cutoff? You say longer. What's the cutoff? 3 weeks.
I've never. That's like a extended stay hotel. No, but like if I'm going to a wedding, my nice clothes are going in a closet and they're vertical. They're not going to be folded up in a bag. So a wedding, funeral, I've had to do that. Or speaking gigs, I had to do that. But generally speaking, I'm taking out. If I'm in Florida, I'm taking this pair of shorts out today and this T-shirt out the same day, and then put it in the dirty pile when I'm done sweating them up. You know. So
Okay.
that's a good question, though.
Would your wife eventually put them in a drawer, or like no matter how long?
No, she'd probably chop the dresser up before she had to, right, honey? Yeah, no, she just doesn't. You know, and she, you know, I always get you're weird doing that. You know, I don't know. But apparently your wife does it.
Yeah, so I think it's just like, you know,
not be too weird.
But I like the fact that you have that option. There's a hotel I stayed at once where, and I'm not gonna say the name of the hotel, but like where they have like a fitness bouncy ball in it and stuff. You're like, well, this
In the room?
yeah, and it's like bare. It's bare, and it's like you're in a quarter.
Lover's Lane.
You're like in one of the
Sybaris. Brought to you by.
But that's my next question. Have you ever stayed in a
Actually, no, I have not.
I have not.
Oh, you guys should check them. No.
I think he's inviting us to the
Hey,
Sybaris.
let's go. I got a gift certificate, guys. Who brought a swimsuit?
Let me get out my suitcase. No,
He's still from his last trip. If I'm somewhere more than one night, I'll unpack. If I'm just like, if we're stopping for the night, but if I'm gonna be there more than one night,
I mean, one night I would keep it in a suitcase.
I'm gonna even add to that. Like, so now you're not staying locally at the Sybaris. You're going on a flight somewhere. Do you check baggage or just bring a carry-on, or does
I
it
try
depend?
to go as little with no check on as little as possible.
Yeah,
I try the same.
yeah,
Unless I absolutely have
yeah.
to.
If I'm traveling alone, I'll make sure I have like a carry-on because like I'm always that guy that's just waiting endlessly at the turnstile. But my wife, bless her heart, will never just bring carry-on. I'm gonna look good. Yeah. I don't have a problem. She looks good. I love you, honey.
I don't bring.
But the thing is, four of our first 5 trips as a married couple, our luggage never showed up, and I had to go to the. And then it was literally like honeymoon, didn't show up, and then a couple days later, it was all like kind of opened up and stuff, and she was crying about it. And then we went to Boston, and like. I'm waiting there. We're waiting. It's like midnight. I'm waiting. I'm going to just walk over to there because I know it's not coming, and it wouldn't be coming. And then she's like, "Well, I packed six aluminum cans of Pepsi that exploded in there, because of the air pressure changes." Yeah. But I realized it was because she was like the way she packed was not good, right? Like it was
right.
Not,
The 6 cans of Pepsi.
Yeah.
That's a dead giveaway, Garrett.
Not everything.
Sorry, Mandy. That was a bad call.
I've traveled my whole life. I've never had that happen like once, let alone like literally. I was like, "Is this how marriage is? Is like your luck goes the opposite way?"
I mean,
sometimes
the thing you could do if you wanted to really go, and I've thought about this, right, is that you go travel somewhere, don't take anything, and just go to the Goodwill, buy what you want, and then leave it in the drawer and go home.
That's an interesting game. Like do where you do a trip with no plans.
Yeah.
Like, get on a plane, do the toss of dice. I'm going to Virginia Beach.
You can't even do that anymore, can you? Though?
Sure, you could.
You mean you would just have to buy it?
You'd be like, we're going to the airport, and we'll buy it. Yeah, like on the app. Yeah. And then you go to Goodwill and buy your clothes
for the week, and then just leave them in the drawer. They'll donate them back
or drop them off on the way to the airport back at Goodwill.
Yeah. Just make sure you got your original
clothes.
I mean,
what's funny is so one of my friends always goes to the Goodwill. She's like, how much this cost? $1.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, you just put it in the washing machine and add some sort of 1 teaspoon of ammonia or something. I don't know what they're putting in it, and it brightens the color. And I'll say this: they usually look pretty good, whatever she's getting.
If you need a thrifter, my wife, she
really?
finds some of the most. I'm going to say this. This doesn't mean go shopping, but she finds some of the most amazing things when she's doing this. Like she'll come home and she'll be like, "I found this. What?" And I'm like, "That's pretty cool."
Page 3 of the Constitution.
Yeah. Just page 3.
My son and his buddy started going up to the Goodwill here in Frankfurt by the theater here. Yeah. And he comes home the other day with this 4-foot stuffed tiger. He goes, "It was $2, Dad."
Yeah, right?
Great.
Yeah, how did he bring that home in the cold?
Well, his buddy's parents had to come pick him up.
He opened it up like a tauntaun to escape the extreme cold from Friday.
He sent my wife a picture, and she's like, "I think he's gonna come home." Of course, he's gonna come home with that.
Yeah. It's $2.
Yeah. You were joking about the thrift store and go there, but what if your destination was Florida and you're just going to a nude beach anyhow? So that's my next question. Have you ever been to a nude beach, Israel? Seriously.
Let's see. Technically, I've been on South Beach where there was a lot of nakedness going on.
Yeah.
But I don't think you call that a nude beach.
But that's just topless.
Yeah. So that's as close. So far, I mean, if anybody wants to take me, I'm in. Garrett, do a podcast?
No. Well, guys, Main Stage Improv is doing an all-nude show at Bob's Nude Beach at Pokagon State National Park.
The Sun Club out in out in Indiana.
We are not.
We're not doing a living scenery with that one.
Why is everybody trees?
Okay. So, what about you, Adam?
I have not.
I have not. My brother did many moons ago. Many moons ago. I don't know. He was out at Florida or.
You get any picture?
Oh, maybe he was in Jamaica or something. No, I don't even know. I mean, they didn't have cameras like on the phones or something. So long ago. Right?
Yeah.
I was just surprised. Right? You know? So.
Shaking it.
What is it like the old James Bond? Never say never. I don't know. You know.
Never say never.
Yeah.
All
When in Rome, do as in Romans. Because I know I had friends travel abroad in college, and they're like, yeah, we went to like these. Some of my female friends went to like they're like in Italy, and there was like some bathhouse, and you're all nude, and they're like well, there's the pool and whatever, and so when in Rome, you do as the Romans.
So you would do a nude beach.
I'm not against it.
What about a nude club resort? Doing some nude volleyball?
No.
Adam's thinking about it.
Well, I don't know.
I'm pretty good at volleyball. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't need sandburns or whatever. No.
Well, he got that over the net. How do you hit that one?
Yeah.
Well,
he got caught in the net. No. I'm not gonna go up to spike.
Oh, jeez.
No, but the thing is, when my brother went long ago, and it was like some vacation thing. I just remember, like he said, "Oh, it's just all old."
It wasn't
people.
work related.
It was all old people, right? It's not like you're not going there, and it's like, I don't know why I came up with this dated reference, but Claudia Schiffer, in her prime.
It is actually like Claudia Schiffer now. That's exactly what you're getting at the nude.
You know what? The secret to going to a nude beach is go when you're like 80 or 90 because everybody's younger.
That's true. I think that's what they do.
The bigger issue, though, I think, is just like the sunburn, right? Like, I remember.
Just got to apply a lot of lotion.
Carefully.
Slowly.
I remember one time years back. This is not a nude beach story.
It's a lotion story.
But my other brother, we were out on like a boat at a lake or something, and he puts on the suntan lotion and stuff, and then it was like intense 90-degree weather all weekend. It was like a 4th of July weekend at Lake James in Indiana, and he had burned his feet. His feet were so burnt, and because he put no attention to his feet. So the thing is, the sun can be intense even when you don't know it's intense. Like
Definitely.
if you're ever at a Las Vegas pool and you're like, oh, this is fun, I'm be careful because you don't need to be in the sun that long.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we have, as we're going to kind of wrap up, we have our quick hit. Did you have anything else you had to ask, Garrett?
No, I think we're pretty good. We're pretty good.
Okay. So, do you have yes and no's?
No, I don't. No,
okay.
no.
All right, we'll go through a few of these,
right.
Adam. Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Okay. What is your gas station go-to snack?
Beef jerky.
Ooh, good one. Any specific brand?
No.
Whatever looks
good. Yeah.
What movie or show have you watched the most?
Probably. That's a toss-up between Star Wars, the original trilogy, because I've watched that quite a bit over the years. But also, if you think like Christmas movies, because you tend to watch those year, Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Night Owl.
Okay. Can you open a beer bottle with a lighter? Have you heard of this before?
I have no idea what you're talking about. No.
You take a plastic like Bic lighter.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. And you rig it and you hold the beer bottle, the lighter, and pressure, and just.
No. All right.
Can't do it. All right. I can't.
Something to try.
Next time you're Santa.
Next time you're drinking.
Come on. Here we go.
Look at this trick, kids.
When the beard goes.
Budweiser.
The beard goes up in flames. And people tell me that they say shake your moneymaker, and I'm like,
Santa's going to the nude resort for Christmas.
Grow that beard a little longer.
Is that a candy cane in your pocket? Oh, wait.
God.
Weird curl too.
Weird.
Are you an early on time person, or I'm pulling into the parking lot right now type of person?
If you're on time, you're late.
Okay.
So I'm an early person. I like to get there 10, 15 minutes early.
Israel just gave me a look. Yeah.
Well, he beat me here, which I was surprised.
Yeah, I'm generally like, if this is the time, that's the time. But I will be part of a TEDx event on Friday. I'm giving some improv workshops at the TEDx Lakeshore Drive in the Willis Tower, formerly the Sears Tower. But the woman who runs it, she's excellent. She's an excellent leader, Amy Sagami. And I did some TED Talks and emceed some TED Talks for her years back at IIT. And she used to say to the whole team, and like I said, she's a good leader. If you're not early, you're late. And so that's when you said that, I'm like, that gave me flashbacks to her, and I'll be seeing her actually Friday. So I'm. If you tell me this, I pack so much in one day. I'm using every second of every minute.
He comes flying in the room,
I
sweating.
do. Yeah, I do. Sweating to the oldies. Yeah.
All right, this one I think
Which is a good theme for the nude beach, right?
Sweating with the oldies.
Yeah.
All right, actually, we'll start. I want to hear everybody's. We'll start with Garrett on this one.
Okay.
If your inner monologue had a voice actor, who would it be?
You know, it's going to be Bob Odenkirk, only because people tell me my voice quality and sometimes my voice altogether sounds like Bob Odenkirk. So that's the voice I hear when I talk. So that's probably the voice in my head.
I like it.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah. I say.
I say, boy, you're doing it all wrong, boy.
All right. I think mine is usually like either like a British, like a deep British, or like a deep Southern kind of voice.
Like Southern. Yeah,
Very
so
close.
Southern for me.
I do have a question. I did forget to ask. Can I insert it here?
That's your question? No.
Sure, go for it.
So, do you have a secret talent that like nobody really knows about because you don't use it? You know, it doesn't have to be something huge. It can be something like, oh, I got this, I do this, but I don't really use it. Anybody? I can give you an example. Like, when I was a kid, and still to this day, my friend Ron Skonke had like a speed bag at his house downstairs. His older brothers would use. You know, it's just that bag that you hit when you're practicing boxing, and then you have to kind of weave, right? The faster you go. And I was always good at it. Like, always. I don't know, maybe my length of my Irish arms and stuff. And then, you know, I'm going to say somewhere around COVID, I can't remember if it was, I think it was 2019, right before COVID, I was at the Muhammad Ali Museum and they had one. And I started going, I'm like, I hadn't lost anything. And then I'm like, well, maybe that's just me. And then I like got away because it was going to, you know, I moved back, so I was done. And then another guy tried it and he was lousy. I'm like, oh, maybe there's something there. I should have been a boxer.
So what was the question?
Do you have a secret talent, something you're good at or ability that you don't really use or nobody knows about?
Or
so
it's like a worthless talent?
Yeah, kind of like, I mean, I'm not going to be boxing under Cassius Gray or something. You know?
I can flare my nostrils. I've never had a need to do that other than when you know kids will ask me like can you do this, and they'll do something funny. I'm like, no, can you do this? And I'll flare the nostril. And then they're like, it's funny watching them try to do it, you know. Yeah. But it's never come in handy for anything else other than podcasts and.
I don't even know if we have a Zoom camera. Like, trust us, his nostrils.
He did it. I swear, I saw him move.
And then Israel has a secret talent. He's like, he can do those like peck moves, like Hulk Hogan, where he
really
no.
Yeah, you didn't see him? I'll take my shirt off later to show you. All right, back to the question.
Any secret talent though, Israel?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. No, I can't think. I don't know. Not really.
I mean, I like to write, but then that became not so secret when I wrote the one-act play, and then I wrote the children's book, and you know, so.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm dry on that one. Got nothing.
Okay. He's dry.
Adam, what is something you would gladly overpay for?
What would I gladly overpay for? Barbecue. Good barbecue. Good barbecue. Yeah.
How about coffee or tea?
Neither.
Neither.
Neither. Diet
What's
Mountain Dew.
What about hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate, yeah, hot chocolate.
Okay.
I'll do hot
Wow.
chocolate.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, but I'm not coffee or tea. Just never.
You know, when you were like boxers or briefs, neither.
Yeah, right.
So,
What is this? What is these clothing you speak of? No.
do you prefer to send a text message or make a phone call?
It used to be make a phone call, but
Yeah.
today it's text message.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to get stuck in some long-winded kind of.
He looked at me. He's not wrong. Guilty as charged.
Well, Garrett will send me voice text messages.
Yeah.
Which I started doing back with you because it's just easier.
Yeah. I'm a crappy typist. I always get like, I had something the other day. I'm not going to bring it up.
Yes. No. Let's bring it up.
Yeah. While we're here.
Next question.
Yikes! You should be on that text thread.
I don't proofread.
Adam, are you a small group or big crowd kind of person?
Well, in terms of what I prefer,
Yeah.
I like both. I think, and primarily a lot of that has to do with like the Santa stuff because I love the home visits where you're going and it's a small group of people again. But then I also like the big like I can work a room. I love.
What about
working a room.
socializing? Like 2-3 friends or like 10 or 15?
Two to three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're in the car, what are you listening to?
Either podcasts or music, and my music genre is all over the board. I like.
What'd you listen to today? Give
What
us 5 different artists that you listened to today. I'm
I
right
have
here.
to think about that because I don't know. Sometimes I get in my own head. But I was listening like today on the way to work. I was listening to Pod Save America. I listened to that one. It was one of my podcasts. Strict Scrutiny is another podcast I listen to. Those are probably the main podcasts I listen to. Music wise, there was Five Finger Death Punch. I listened to that. I was listening to more of the harder Citizen Soldier.
I'm not. I know Five Finger, but I've
Yeah.
Citizen Soldier.
And then
I think he was a Captain American villain.
and then like my playlist because I just put it on and it's like whatever it plays.
Yeah.
And then like Debbie Gibson comes on or so it's a hard rock and
Can't
then
turn
country.
off Debbie Gibson.
Like country. I mean I had it was Kenny Chesney today too. It was on. So I mean, it bounces all over.
Yeah, I understand that. I have different tastes.
I just have an appreciation for artists who are making their own music. I'm not real big into the whole synthesizer type music. I like they're playing the guitar, they're playing the or the singing. I mean, I know some of that is tracks.
I agree.
Do you like spicy food or mild food?
I like spicy food, but not too spicy.
Okay. Would you rather be famous or rich?
Why not both?
You can't have both in this
Can't
scenario.
have both in this scenario. I would probably say rich.
I
Rich.
agree.
Famous is cool though, but
Handsome or smart?
smart. I mean, my wife did not marry me for my looks. So
I'd go with smart too. I think I'll try out smart for once. Why not? Do you think it's better to be lucky or good?
good.
All right.
Because you make your own luck.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. Like my dad's will always say, it's better to be lucky than to be good. Because think about if you were one of the best chefs in downtown Chicago, you saved all your money for like 20 years, and you finally, bought your own restaurant. You're gonna have a grand opening, and that week 9/11 happens.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
The message was don't go to restaurants. And so, because there was a couple restaurants around my area that folded somewhere around there because people weren't going out. And I always think about that, like, my dad, for football games, was like, they were lucky. But I tend to agree with Adam. How do, good quarterbacks win and bad quarterbacks lose? Oprah says luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think, football teams, and Israel was at both Bears games for the playoffs. We didn't even get to do a recap. So we should maybe talk about that.
They won one and they lost one.
Yeah, but he was at the Packers one with his son. Awesome game.
was awesome.
In the annals of Bears history, that was killer.
Well, I go back to that. So the lucky or good. I mean, if you think about like the Thanksgiving Day parade and how, like I got that because somebody knew me and knew what I did,
Right.
and I got that, we did it, and now if I've been lucky, like I'd go, if I'm not good, I'm never going to do that one again. But I get an email 2 weeks ago that says, "Hey, we want to enter into a long-term commitment with you for this parade." Well, that's not because I'm lucky.
Hopefully, we didn't mess that up for you. Talking about new
because
beaches.
he is the best. He is the best Santa, bar none, in the Chicagoland area and probably the greater Midwest area. But with that said, like I agree. Like, but it's kind of funny how like you kind of moved upward, albeit on your skill. Like you read, they wanted you, but like to be there at that time. I had 2 trainers, and they were like good, one trained celebrities and stuff. Joey Thurman, he lives out here, but like, and then Marcus Warren, who is Mr. Natural Australia, and Joey want to do more stuff like with, and you would see him on TV quite a bit. I would turn on the TV and see him like with Ryan Cheverini and stuff. But like he said, to break into that type of business, you even if you have like you're good looking, you're strong, and you're fit and stuff, have a great personality, which he checks all those boxes, Joey did. You still have to be lucky. You have to find the right person who believes in you and pushes you and stuff. So like I don't it's right place, right time. Like timing is everything, but I agree, like be ready for those opportunities.
Well, I didn't go live on TikTok until I had met Drew Weigman. Drew is a cellist on TikTok, and he's just an amazing performer, and he plays by ear. He doesn't even read music, and he just is.
I mean, isn't that kind of hard if he's doing?
He's
I had to go there, guys.
He went there.
You'll hear some of his music played at intermission on Saturday.
But he was he was like, you should try this. You should, and he really kind of gave me that little nudge that I needed. And next thing I know, I've got a TikTok channel that went from like 300 followers to over 15,000.
What the
like
heck?
in the course of like
awesome.
a month and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got a question from Mark online, and he wanted to know, what are the main keys to being a director for a show?
I think first is you need to be able to listen to your cast. I have seen shows where directors are very like, this is the way we're going to do it. I am one to somebody comes to me, like when I was doing the play, and like somebody would come and say, well, I've got this idea. And I'd be like, okay, let's try it. Let's see how it looks.
Right.
And if they do it and it works, great, let's do it. If it doesn't, most of the time they go, oh yeah, that didn't work. They know.
Yeah.
But it's listening to your cast. I think I think the other thing is keeping everyone on task. I mean, I think it's a little bit easier. That's one of the things I've noticed, the difference between doing the shows and doing improv is that doing the shows, everybody's got a part. They know their parts, their lines. This is where we got to be. I got to do blocking. I got to do that. Improv is like herding cats.
It is.
I mean, it really, and I mean that in a loving way. But it is different, And with the improv, it's really like trying to figure out where the chemistry is, like where like these players, how are those going to look together? So that's why when we're doing, and I had 3 rehearsals for the show.
Yeah.
And you're in this naturally kind of goofy, silly.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to stifle the fun, because that's
Correct.
where on stage it really shines.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that being a tough.
And I did find too, and I did find through this process, and I'm just going to say this, that I found that this is the first time, right, that someone else has directed something for you from main stage.
Yeah, it is totally.
And that first and second and even the last rehearsal, that I felt everyone kind of listened to me, like
totally.
And I think we're so used to you, because I know when I goof around. I mean, I do, and but I found that like people were like, oh, he's ready, let's go, let's do it. And
I agree.
there wasn't a lot of side conversation. There wasn't, people really were in tune, and I run with an iron fist now. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah,
They didn't want to get on the naughty list.
That's right.
That's it.
Any surprises? Anything
For
catching you off guard? Just in the process of the show.
no, not really. I mean, I've had a couple of cast members, message me kind of off to the side, like, what about this? What do you think about it? But nothing like, just suggestions, ideas. It's great. I try to be open. So even when we're there, like, Garrett, you had some notes, other people, Mike had notes and stuff from the different games that we were doing. The big thing I wanted to do with directing this show was that I wanted to bring some games in that we haven't done in a while, or maybe haven't done.
Yeah, and they were good.
We brought in Onion Peel. We're doing sportscasters. Props is going to be a fun one.
Well, that's going to be fun.
I've got I was collecting some stuff at home, and I've got like a pile in the basement. And my wife's like, "What is?" I'm like, "These are show props. I'm not bringing those out until the show." So. But we've never. I don't think I've never done props with you.
I've done props with No Limit Laughs, but I haven't done them at main stage because it involves having weird objects to scrounge up. But here's the thing: is like if you have a cachet of all these weird objects, the performers then see them, and so like unless it's a year later or 2 years later and they forget them, you don't want things to get stale.
Right.
So Adam brought a fresh set of props, and even I think Jamie brought some in last time. But we're gonna keep keep you guys in suspense for that. There's gonna be a lot of fresh games for the show.
Nobody knows the props except for me.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the show. I mean, we have been, but let's hear it. Tell people what they need to know.
It's gonna be fun. It's we've got a great cast, and we've got some long-term performers who've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Ramon, Logan,
Mike McCauley.
Yeah. We've got some people who are newer too, that just the chemistry is just amazing.
I agree.
When I sent, so Garrett was like, and Garrett was so great because he's like, I don't want to step on your toes. I'm gonna. This is you. So he's, but if you want to show me, anything or talk to me about anything, and I have. But when I sent him the cast list of who was going to be in each of the games, I sent it to him, and he was like, yeah, it looks good. Like like that was the input I got. I'm like, okay, cool. So there's either thinking the same wavelength, or you looked at it and went, oh, that's interesting. Did you find anything interesting on there?
So the thing is, and Adam knows because he's done it now. And he did what I do. I put it on a spreadsheet because it's somewhat mathematical. You don't want to have like if I do a show and say maybe there's 12 or 14 games, and if Israel's in 8 of them, if he's in the first 8 and then not in the next 6, and maybe that 6 is the second half, it's unbalanced. People aren't coming to see everybody, and so if you're seeing a cast member for the first time 45 minutes into the show or the second half, there's something unbalanced. So people are coming to see their people, so you want to respect that and have it mixed pretty well. Adam understood the assignment. It looked really good. And I think, with that said, I think he had just one minor tweak after that, and it's like super minor. Yeah. It's just like, and I do this. We had
to switch a game. Somebody hadn't done one of the games, and we didn't really get a chance to get to it. So I made a swap right at the end, and
it works out. It's going to be.
And that suggestion came from another cast member.
Yeah.
Too. So that was great. The other thing I guess I would say about that is the game order too, because it was like, okay, well, I've got 2 guessing games. I don't want to have those both right beside each other, and trying to get a nice flow of different games.
It's like making a back in the day, like burning a disc for your sweetheart or making a mixtape for your sweetheart, where you can't
mixed record.
You can't mixed record. You can't have like this one note, the same thing. Like it gets stale. So you kind of gotta have some fast starts and a rocker, and then maybe by the 3rd or 4th it's a ballad, and then you pick it up again. Like there's some sort of weird feel. Yeah. Right? And so I think the feel. When I looked at it, I'm like, this looks like the pacing will be correct.
I mean, even the game order, you were like,
it looked good. Yeah, I didn't say this must go over here and that no, because it is like a set list for a rock concert or a mixtape.
Well, and Megan had a really neat idea she brought up after the first rehearsal. She goes, boy, wouldn't it be neat if somehow the first part of the night up until the intermission was like New Year's Eve, and then the second half was like New Year's Day. Yeah. And so I kind of thought about that. I was like, that's a neat idea. And looking at the different gets and looking at the different setups for the games.
So we're going to play the second half hungover.
Right.
Like,
Right. We got 10 minutes in between.
Yeah, we're just Israel got some Jägermeister. We're doing shots.
That's right. Drunk improv. We're doing it.
Yeah, but I really appreciate the opportunity to get to do it, and I know it took some for you to let go of that, but also knowing that you were needed a little break.
And I will say this, like, it's funny, like we had our big Christmas show, which Adam was the focal point as Santa, and so. And that was December 14th. So like now we're a little bit over. We're almost a month and a half from that. But we were off for about 3 weeks, and that's why we had the 3 weeks of just rehearsals and stuff. But I will say this: like coming up to showtime, it is really nice to have people I can rely on, like you, Adam, as the director. Israel, like there's so many things that coming up to this show date, like the music, the running order, and some other stuff that is all taken care of, right? And so like the programs and stuff, where it takes a lot of load off of my, off my desk, and I really appreciate, the teamwork on that. And I think it's gonna be a great show. Like I really am excited about this, and it's nice to just perform. Somebody said to me, "You just want to sit back and not perform?" I said, "Far from it." But I'm like Tony Kukoc of the Bulls. I pass the ball all the time to people. And I have a teammate, Mike McCall, going, "Quit taking yourself out of bits that you're good in," like, or whatever he's like, or good stuff. And he's true. It's true. I'll be like, "Well, Israel's really good at this. I'm gonna give him this," and so on and so forth. And but a part of that is because I want people to have be in positions to have success and stuff. So I'm really just looking forward to playing for a change. And
and it's an exciting. I'm excited about this year too. I mean, there's a lot and we've talked about it. I think in most of the podcasts we've done, but. This and you doing directing is something new and different, and like all these things are things that will help, grow and us. Yeah. I mean, doing a board, doing the online stuff, getting, there's a lot of shows. If there's tons of our shows online that you can watch on the YouTube channel now. So, and it'll be exciting to see where that goes because, like you, Adam, we've seen good growth with the TikTok and the. Just putting fun stuff out there. People like it, and it's a good way to promote the show.
Ramon had like 1.1 thousand.
1.1 thousand views.
Sounds like 1,100 views to me. 1.3 thousand.
1.1 e to the power 3.
We have 1.600 viewers.
So, but what I'm saying is, he put that up about a week ago, and but the idea there is, we have a really fun cast that are of funny people. So taking a camera and we do improv. So taking a camera and come up with a few bits on the fly at the end of rehearsal or at the beginning of rehearsal is fun to do, and Israel does a great job with all the production and putting it out there. I really appreciate it, Israel. And so it just is another thing that you can either put on TikTok, YouTube channel, that helps you out there get introduced to our cast. Like, and I say the Ramon promo, but he's like one of like 10 people in it, but he's the focal point. So we love you, Ramon.
All right, Garrett, what else? You want to give a brief on the upcoming shows?
Sure, yeah. So in addition to this Saturday, the January 31st, the last day in January where we kick off the new year. Better late than never. But 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Tinley Park Performing Arts Center, and then come out a month later, February 28th, Saturday, to see our improv show that is going to be long form with guest monologuist Ken Shahansky from the Curtain Call Theater, and then we'll have improv games in the second half. Then we have Comedy Gladiators coming up March 21st.
Third annual
Comedy Gladiators, where the gladiators of comedy square off for the most coveted prize in the improv world.
The Golden Pony.
Yeah, the Golden Pony, which is a ponytail gilded in gold, 24 karat gold, that the winning team gets. And we have the winning team coming back, and we have some tried and true cast members that went through the program as former students. Some are current cast members, and we have some good up-and-comers from the Pickle Parade who are in my Advanced 2.0 class. And I got to say, like, last year it was like the newcomers who took the trophy, so it's anybody's...
Pickle Parade, they go to the nude beaches.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking about the Golden Pony. I mean, you could grow that every year and then cut it and give that as the prize.
You know what? You know what's funny is, I will say this: like Mike McCauley did, one of our improvisers did a behind-the-scenes little vignette the last rehearsal. So he was taking a camera, going right up into people's faces, like a extreme close-up from Wayne's World. But he also took some candid shots of my ponytail for some reason, and I'm like, man, this is a bad look.
What?
I'm gonna have to cut it. But
200 subscribers and Garrett cuts his ponytail.
not 200, but I will say this: I did cut my hair and my ponytail off in 2012 when I did a bench. My father-in-law and I did 2 benches for Tinley Park, and I said if one of the benches wins a prize, I would cut my hair off to a respectable haircut. I didn't shave it like Israel did in COVID. I didn't go full Kojak. And so
I called it my Britney Spears era.
Oh yeah. If a woman is shaving her head, there's some issues right there. Okay. With that said, but that's from my wife, so don't go Garrett's sexist. My wife had said that years back.
Yeah, and not him, his wife.
Yeah.
Send your emails to Mandy.
I'm fine with shaved head women.
No,
Katie.
she'll defend.
I'm sitting here. I'm like, what? I don't get it.
I'm talking full like Sinead O'Connor. Like, you know, I Cyndi Lauper, the look was there in the '80s and is very popular.
See, when we go over an hour and a half, this is what happens. Garrett starts ripping on bald women. What the heck?
Wow.
I'm not. You know,
The After Hours show comes out.
I said long hair is, you know, so
Yeah, keep digging. Yeah, that's good. Just keep.
Anyhow, I forgot what. So Gladiators, though, is going to be a good show. Adam's going to be back as a judge. I'm going to be back as a judge, and we have Jules coming to officiate things. And like he said, she's a dynamo, so she's going to be jumping all over the stage, keeping the Gladiators in check and calling them to task.
And the fun thing about this show is how you get such a cool mix of people. Like you said, there is a wide variety, but you get that kind of competition aspect with it. Like, it really, last year was a lot of fun to do. I think it's going to be fun this year.
And this year we're going to have a new thing. Well, I'll get to that with the Gladiators, but you're going to get graded on your entrance too, the intro music and how you come out, what's your gimmick. So we are going to, because that could be the difference.
Well, you know, and that's a good point because, you know, last year, you know, when we like, okay, by cheer, right? You know, and then, but it was a tie. It was a 4-way tie at the end.
Yeah.
And we had to break the tie. And, you know, it was.
Somebody got robbed.
It was
I'm not saying it was first-class laughs, but it was first-class
Mike
laughs.
McCauley had his pad, and I gave him specific instructions on the tiebreaker game, and that's how we graded it. Ironically, it also was in alignment with the tiebreaker applause. So the one thing is, Mike McCauley is not going to come back as a judge. We have Katie Jandeska.
He stinks.
The third judge.
Blind, he can't see anything.
Israel lost, so he's a little disgruntled. But we have Katie Jandeska coming into the fold to lay down the iron fist. But
Yeah, and they're not trying to bribe me. Like, Adam, why don't you come be on our podcast?
believe me, it's above board. But after that, our next show after that will be a sketch show. Our most popular sketch show, which is second to Christmas, actually, is the May the 4th Be With You, and it'll be on May the 3rd, Sunday, because that's
Monday improv shows don't go over too well.
So, and then we'll have some summer shows coming up and a few jams coming up in the summer.
We're pretty much like once a month event.
We're pretty much once a month because the Gladiator show had to get pushed back or pushed up a week. And so that would have been March 28th. And really, May 3rd is the first weekend in May. So, but for the sketch shows, we always need about 6 practices for the sketches and stuff. So that had to get protracted. So, you know, we're almost a show a month. Every 4 to 5 weeks, we have a show.
That is kind of funny, isn't it? That the third of a month would be close to the beginning of it.
Oh my God! I will say this: the classes are going strong, and I keep getting people asking about fundamentals. We will have a fundamentals class starting up this year. Stay tuned for more details on that, and watch our website. Although I've been poor at posting stuff on the website, but we'll get there. Also, we have C2E2. So you're like, what's C2E2? Well, we're going to be there March 28th, Saturday night, March 28th, and it is night. This time we're at 7 p.m. And it's the basically the Comic-Con in the Chicago area at McCormick Place. And it's me and some of the main stage cast. We'll be dressed up in full costumes and lead a 1-hour workshop of people and fans. So,
Adam, you want to just share your website or how people can get a hold of you?
My website is northpolesantallc.com. That is anything, everything Santa. If you are interested in the Children's Museum, that is, you can just Google Children's Museum in Oak Lawn and it'll pop up. We got a lot of neat programs and stuff that we're doing there in Birth to 3, some sensory friendly stuff. And then we'll have we have a big event in the fall called Fall Fun Fest, which we do. It's an outdoor event, which is fun. And then we do some couple fundraisers through the year. We got a golf outing this summer and trivia night. We're gonna be
what type
doing,
of trivia do you guys do?
This particular one is a family trivia, so it's going to be centered around Disney.
Okay.
This one, but we've done other ones. The last one we did we didn't theme it up, but we're talking about maybe we ought to do a themed one like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter or something like that. You know.
Great. Well, that's very interesting. All right. Well, check out my podcast, Mokina's Front Porch, as well, please. I'd love a subscribe if you're able. And I don't know when we're doing the next one, but I'm sure we'll be talking to somebody again soon. So
Yeah, hope
Adam,
Tom Skilling is watching this as well.
Yeah.
Give us a like and subscribe, Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Debbie
Adam.
Gibson, you too. Right?
it was a lot of fun. Thanks, Adam.
Take care, guys. Thanks for being on the show.
Of course.